Guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to look into chapter 3 from 4, which is the mole concept, chemical formula, and equation. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So as the first part, I'm going to teach you guys how to calculate the relative molecular mass for the following compounds. So I've listed down a few compounds here. We're gonna learn how to find the relative molecular mass. Okay, so in your exams, right, you'll have something called RAM, and I just want to let you guys know that this RAM will never ever change. So RAM refers to relative atomic mass. Okay, and now we're going to find the relative molecular mass, which means relative atomic mass refers to the mass of only one atom in the question. And now we're going to find the molecular mass, the mass for the whole molecule. So the first question, we have tetrachloromethane, which has the chemical formula CCl4. Now I want you guys to derive this chemical formula. So it's given CCl4, which means this molecule consists of one atom, one carbon atom, and four chlorine atoms. Okay, so it's more like a mathematical equation. So in order to solve this question, all right, what we have to do is we have to find the mass for one carbon atom and four chlorine atoms. So the relative atomic mass for carbon atom is 12, and we have four chlorine molecules, all right? So we're going to times 4 with one relative atomic mass for chlorine is 35.5. So you'll get 154. And that's the answer, and you don't need to write any other units after that. So don't worry if you still can't get it, we'll look into the next question. So the second question has potassium chloride, which has the chemical formula K2Cl. So again, we're going to derive this chemical formula, all right? So potassium chloride consists of two atoms of potassium and one atom of chlorine. So we're going to do the same. We're going to times the relative atomic mass of potassium with 2. And this is how you write it. Plus, it's not necessary to write 1 as I've written here for the carbon for the previous question, alright? It's not compulsory to write 1, but I'll encourage you to do so that you don't get confused. So just write 1 bracket 35.5 because we only have one chlorine atom. And then you'll get the answer 78 plus with 35.5, which is equivalent to 113.5. Now let's move on to the third question, which has the compound sodium nitrate. So sodium nitrate has the chemical formula NaNO3. So again, we're going to derive this chemical formula. So it has one atom of sodium, one atom of nitrogen, and three atoms of oxygen. All right. So again, one bracket. So the relative atomic mass for sodium is 23. We have one atom of nitrogen. So we're going to times 14 with 1. And over here, we have three uh, three atoms of oxygen. So 3 times with 16, and you'll get 23 plus 14 plus with 48, which is equivalent to 85. So this is how you calculate the relative molecular mass. Okay, now let's move on to the next section. Quite similar, but then it involves a mathematical equation where we're going to be finding the value of x for the following compounds. So in the first question, We have given H2SOX with a relative molecular mass of 82. Now, I want you to keep in mind that the relative atomic mass is what exactly we looked for in the previous question. So, which means the answer is already given. So, you just have to write the exact same mathematical equation to find the value of our x. Don't worry, we'll do it slow and steady. All right. So, we have So we just have to derive it again, which means we have two atoms of hydrogen. So 2. The relative atomic mass for hydrogen is 1. Plus with, we have 1 molecules of sulfur. The relative atomic mass for sulfur given is 32. 32. Plus with, we have X atom of oxygen. The relative atomic mass for oxygen is 16. 16. Now, if you solve this equation, you'll get a sum of 82. Now, this is what we'll be getting. Now, from here it's just simple maths. You just have to then minus this from 82 and divide it by 16, where you'll be getting x equals to 48 divided by 16, you'll get 3. Hence, the value for x is 3. I'm not going to rewrite the chemical formula again because the question didn't ask us to do so. Moving on, question number B, we're going to be doing the same. The relative molecular mass for HNOX is 63. So we're going to write the mathematical equation first. So we have one molecule of hydrogen. The relative atomic mass for hydrogen is 1. Plus we have one atom of nitrogen. So RAM for nitrogen is 14. 14 plus we have X atoms of oxygen, which is 16, which has the relative molecular mass C3. So we have to solve this equation. X equals to 3. Moving on to the third question, we have K2CrX07 with a relative molecular mass of 294. So we're going to derive it. We have two molecules of potassium. So the relative atomic mass for the potassium is 39. So 2 times 39 plus with, we have X atom of chromium. Cr is chromium, alright? The relative atomic mass for chromium is 52. 52 plus 7 atoms of oxygen equal to 294. Now we'll have 78 plus with 52x plus with 112. So 52x is equivalent to 104. So 104 divided by 52 is 2. Moving on, we have another 3 question to find the unknown. So let's go through the question first. So the relative molecular mass for the element X, we have to calculate it. All right. So same, the relative atomic mass is already given. So in question A, it states that the relative molecular mass for XNO32 is 180. Okay, so to solve this question, we're going to start by rewriting the mathematical equation. So we have one atom of X. So it's going to be 1 bracket X plus with So we have to times these two inside with both of the values. Okay, so it's going to be 2 atoms of nitrogen. So the relative molecular mass for nitrogen given is 14 plus with, so 2 times 3 is equivalent to 6. So we have 6 atoms of oxygen, which has the relative molecular mass 180. Now we're going to simplify this equation. Therefore, X is equivalent to 56. So, but they didn't ask us to state what's the name for X, but then from the RAM given, we can determine that 56 is the relative atomic mass for ferrum. Moving on to the next question. Given the relative molecular mass for sodium benzoate, which is NaX7H5O2 is 144. So we're going to write the mathematical equation now. Okay, so we have 1 atom of sodium. Sodium has the relative atomic mass 23. 23 plus 7 atoms of X plus 5 atoms of hydrogen plus 2 atoms of oxygen, which has the relative molecular mass 144. So 23 plus 7x plus 5 plus 32 equals 144. 7x is equivalent to 84. Therefore, x has the relative atomic mass 12. Hence, X is actually carbon. Okay. The last question for this video, we have, sorry, I'm going to rewrite this question again. It's not W, it's X. Okay. So, given the relative molecular mass for X2CO3 is 164, so we're going to repeat the same steps again, yeah? So it's going to be, and one more thing, please be minded that there can only be one equals in one um, sentence. Okay. So 2 bracket X, because we have 2 atoms of X plus with carbon, we have 1 atom of carbon plus 3 atoms of oxygen equal to 164. So it's going to be 2x plus with 12 plus with 48 equals 164. 2x is equivalent to 104. X is 52. Therefore, X is actually chromium.